Hi lovelies, and welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda's channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my videos and leave commentaries, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Alright lovelies, let's dive into this video. I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok about this King Leopold who decided to send his missionaries to Africa, and in a letter that was exposed about him telling them on how to use Christianity to take away so many things from Africa. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of the stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section and let's dive into it.
Melanated dominant people, sons and daughters of my ancient mother. I did a stitch video about the letter that King Leopold II wrote to the Belgian Christian missionaries, in which he was instructing them what the real purpose of Christianity was in the Congo. Because of some key words that was said in there, TikTok completely removed the video. If you see the video now, it doesn't have sound. They completely removed it off of my account. So I got the letter. I printed it. I'm going to read it to you, leaving out some choice words. You'll know what they mean. But here we go. So this is the letter that was written in 1883 by King Leopold II of Belgium to the Belgian Christian missionaries sent to the Congo. Reverends, fathers, and dear compatriots, the task that is given to fulfill is very delicate and requires much tact. You will go certainly to evangelize, but your evangelization must inspire above all Belgian interests. Your principal objective in our mission in the Congo is never to teach the N-words to know God, for this they know already. They speak and submit to a Mungu, one Zimbabwe. They know that to kill, to sleep with someone's wife, to lie, and to insult is bad. Have the courage to admit that. You are not going to teach them what they already know. Your essential role is to facilitate the task of administrators and industrials, which means you will go to interpret the gospel in a way it will be the best to protect your interests in that part of the world. For these things, you have to keep watch on disinteresting our savages from the riches that is plenty in their underground. To avoid that, they get interested in it and make you a murderous competition and dream one day to overthrow you. Your knowledge of the gospel will allow you to find texts ordering and encouraging your followers to love poverty, like happy are the poor because they will inherit heaven. And it's very difficult for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. You have to detach from them and make them disrespect everything which gives them courage to affront us. I make reference to their mystic systems and to their war fetish, warfare protection, which they pretend not to want to abandon, and you must do everything in your power to make it disappear. Your action will be directed essentially to the younger ones, for they won't revolt when the recommendation of the priest is contradictory to their parents' teaching. The children have to learn to obey what the missionaries recommend. Who is the father of their souls? You must singularly insist on their total submission and obedience. Avoid developing the spirit in the schools. Teach students to read and not to reason. There, dear patriots, are some of the principles that you must apply. You will find many other books which will be given to you at the end of this conference. Evangelize the N-words so that they stay forever ever in submission to the white colonists, so they never revolt against the restraints they are undergoing. Recite every day, happy are those that are weeping, because the kingdom of God is for them. Convert always the blacks by using the whip. Keep their women in 9 months of submission to work freely for us. Force them to pay you in sign of recognition, goats, chickens, or eggs every time you visit their village. And make sure that N-words never become rich. Sing every day that it's impossible for a rich man to enter heaven. Make them pay tax each week at Sunday Mass. Use the money that's supposed to be for the poor to build flourishing business centers. Institute a confessional system which will allow you to be a good detective, denouncing any black that has a different consciousness contrary to that of a decision maker. Teach the N-words to forget their heroes and to adore only ours. Never present a chair to a black that comes to visit you. Don't give him more than one cigarette. And never invite him to dinner, even if he gives you a chicken every time you arrive to his house. Now, this was found by a man that was born in the Congo in 1915. He bought a Bible from, like I said, a Belgian priest that forgot to remove the letter that King Leopold gave to their missionaries. Understand, melanated dominant people, that religion was always a plan to steal the land. I love you, and I hope this helps.
If you are a part of the African diaspora, especially ADOS, I highly suggest that you check that video out. That was a great video. Hopefully this is the key that will break you out of these chains. 2024 is going to be tough, so we need you to wake up. It's go time. Shout out to the field side.
This is King Leopold II. If you know anything about history, you would know that this man unalived 15 million Congolese people. People in the Congo, men, women, and children. And this guy was so demented that he detailed his true intentions in a letter. And we'll read the letter right now. The letter reads, and I quote, "Reverends, fathers, and dear compatriots, the task that is given to fulfill is very delicate and requires much tact. You will go certainly to evangelize, but your evangelization must inspire above all Belgium interests." So first things first, King Leopold had to make sure and make it clear that everything they are going to be doing in the Congo is of the interest of the Belgians. Your principal objective in our mission in the Congo is never to teach the N-word to know God. This they know already. They speak and submit to a Mungu, one Zambi, one Zakomba, and what else I don't know. Surprise, surprise, the missionaries were not here to teach us about God. They already knew we had our own gods. They had other intentions though. They know that to unalive, to sleep with someone's wife, to lie, to insult is bad. Have the courage to admit it. You are not going to teach them. They already know that. Your essential role is to facilitate the task of administrators and industrials, which means you'll go and interpret the gospel in a way that will be the best to protect your interest in that part of the world. King Leopold knows that Africans know right from wrong, but he doesn't want that. He wants to disturb that so he can take advantage of us. For these things, you have to keep watch of disinteresting our savages from the richness that is plenty in their underground. To avoid that, they are interested in it and make you murderers. Competition and the dream one day to overthrow you. In African beliefs, If you are my brother, if you're hungry, I'll share with you, I'll give you. You don't have to see me as competition. So the Belgians thought that they would come in here and see us as competition, while there was plenty of resources. I mean, minerals they could have taken from anywhere. They didn't have to even come and disturb the natural resources and the people that were living in those areas. Your knowledge of the gospel will allow you to find texts ordering and encouraging your followers to love property. Like, happier are the poor because they will inherit the heaven. And it's very difficult for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. You have to detach from them and make them disrespect everything that gives them the courage to confront us. The whole of Europe was doing this. It was not only Belgium, but it didn't work. We are still here and we still remember our ancestors.
When Leopold of the Belgians went to Congo, he found a society that was organized in the middle of one of the richest places God ever created. And he claimed Congo as his personal property. This we never say. Initially, what is now Congo, which later became a colony of Belgium, was claimed by King Leopold II of Belgium as his personal property. And at that time, of course, they were doing many things, including rubber. And it is not said, as we should, that King Leopold killed no less than 13 million Congolese.
They had the name Leopold.
No, King Leopold II.
That's what Heart of Darkness is all about.
Yep. And King Leopold's Ghost is another great book. And there's a picture that you're talking about that's so brutal because they think there was 20 million Congolese that lived in Congo when King Leopold came there.
He did a number on, man, can't imagine.
8 to 10 million killed.
That's why he did a number on him like in the 1870s and 80s and 90s. He died in like 1902, around that time Leopold died. And he did a number on those people. And listen, he just went in there and did it without anybody, and they had to stop them eventually. He just got too brutal.
Well, people in Europe thought that King Leopold was like a hero.
Right, because he's bringing the light
rubber
into the dark.
Yeah, then they found out what he was doing, and they said, whoa, this guy's a monster.
Yeah, killed 8 to 10 million people. They think like half the country there, and then the rest of the 50% that lived, half of them were missing one or more.
Thank you for this recommendation. So this comment is on my post about the ways that religion has been used to subdue the people over time. And I took the recommendation, and I think we need to talk about King Leopold's letter to the Congo missionaries. The reason why I think it's important to understand this letter is it serves to demonstrate some of the foundational reasons to have colonial missionaries go out into Africa. And sadly, it's not good. I'm going to give a trigger warning for racism, etc. So this letter was discovered inside of a secondhand Bible by somebody from one of the missionaries, so it was almost lost for time, but luckily we still have it. And here are a few highlights from it. So he starts out, Reverends, fathers, and dear compatriots, the task is given to fulfill is very delicate and requires much tact. You will certainly go to evangelize, but your evangelization must inspire, above all, Belgium interest. He states then that their essential role is to facilitate the task of administrators and industrials, which means they're going there to interpret the gospel in the way that will best protect their interests in that part of the world. He specifically states that they have to watch out and keep the native people disinterested in the richness of the underground, aka all of their natural resources that they're trying to exploit. He says if they get interested, they will then dream to one day overthrow you and take all of that for themselves. He then says to use the gospel and specifically indoctrinate them with certain texts that will encourage them to love poverty, such as happier are the poor because they will inherit the heaven, and it is very difficult for a rich to enter the kingdom of God. It also states that you should specifically teach the younger ones to obey the priest or the missionary above all, including their parents, and teach them that the missionary is the father of their soul. This will create them to be obedient, and you must teach them to read and not to reason. He he says to evangelize the natives so they will forever stay in submission to white colonialists so they will never revolt against the restraints they are undergoing. And then recommends that you teach them to never become rich, even when they give their tax to the church, which you must make sure they're paying every week, never give anything back, and use that money to build flourishing business centers, despite telling them it's being used to help the poor. Anyways, that's a quick summary, but it really teaches you about the foundations of missionary work. Thank you for this recommendation. So this comment is on my post about the ways that religion has been used to subdue the people.
When King Leopold of Belgium died in the year 1909, the year that your great-grandfather was born, he was buried to the sound of Belgians booing. And 5 days before his death, he'd married his young mistress, Caroline Lacroix, La Reine du Congo, Queen of the Congo they knew her as, because of the vast wealth that she'd accumulated through his colony and his brutal exploitative regime in that part of Africa. A trade in ivory and rubber and minerals lined both of their pockets. But Caroline wasn't liked in Belgium. As she went past in her carriage, she was stoned. It was very quick after Leopold's death that the wealthy widow remarried. It's quite hard to say. Now, after the Great War, Belgium erected a lot of statues to Leopold II in this way of trying to claw back something. But now those statues are being questioned. What they represent in that brutal regime in the Congo are being questioned. What do they do with them? Do they pull them down? Do they put them in a museum? What's next for them?
Like, seriously, Lovelace, these people actually did a lot of atrocities. Sometimes I keep asking myself some questions like, okay, why is it that histories are, stripped out from schools? What is the thing behind them hiding this history? Why is it that they don't want us to know a lot of truth? Like, why is it that this particular stuff is not even taught in schools? Like, seriously, these people did a lot. This King Leopold, like, seriously, when I saw this video, I was just going through my For You page and somebody was talking about a leaked letter that they found. Somebody actually found it in a second-hand Bible. So this man found it in a second-hand Bible, and in this Bible was the letter. This letter that is just circulating. And I decided to, like, okay, let me just go into this and check to see what the history behind this, letter that the Leopold II actually sent to the missionaries that he sent to Congo. And I realized that this man decided to own Congo. He decided to own Congo. He did a lot of atrocities to the people of Congo. He owned a life almost 10 million. Imagine someone unaliving such amount of people. There's somewhere I even read of him chopping some people's, and if you don't meet up to something, or if a kind of a short, like, I'm just reading those things and I'm just overwhelmed. There are a lot of things that was just going through my mind. Like, why is it that all of this history, so we have histories like this, why was it just wiped? Why was it hidden? To what extent? Like, seriously, a lot of things has been going on in Congo. There is a genocide going on in Congo, like a silent one going on in Congo, just like the one that is going on in PE.LE. But the problem here is that the people of PE.LE have a lot of people advocating for them, trying to put out to the medias and all of that on what is happening in Palestine. But in times of what is happening in Congo, even till today, these people have been suffering from the days of slavery until date. They are still suffering. They are still suffering. this Congo is the same place that all of the things you think that they used to manufacture the iPhones, you use the electrical cars and all of that, they are being gotten from there. These Congolese people, they have the highest, richest natural resources. But if you go there, they are the poorest of the poor. Then, during the time of Palestine, I try as much as I can to actually talk about Congo until a particular man decided to, get the people, like the media. He wanted to get the attention of the media. That was when he decided to put himself or light himself up, and attention of the media was gotten. And after that, that was it. But I just keep on asking myself, why is it that people are talking about what is happening in power, but nobody is actually advocating for that of Congo? I was like, okay, maybe it's because of, it's just because of the people there. They are not clear people. I'm colored. They are black. This is our curse as black people. We can come out, use our voice to actually advocate for people. That is just our curse. We are very good at helping people. We are very good to use our voice to the betterment of everyone. We are we like to help people. But when is our own turn for people to actually come out and stand for us, a lot of people tend to turn back against us. And this is actually what is happening in Congo. Until today, I came across this video. Seriously, lovelies, I have never heard about this. It was just a comment. I was just going through people's, trying to see where I can educate us here. And somebody talked about it later. That was leaked. I decided to okay, what is he talking about? That was when I realized and I knew about this King Leopold II of the Congo. This man practically owned the Congo. He claimed it. He, first of all, sent his missionaries to go over there and brainwash these people to make them think that, if you are rich, that the kingdom of the Lord will be very, very far away from you. Then when you are poor, then you are close to liberation. What kind of a brainwash is this? And if you watch it, even till date, these people are still in poverty. They're still wallowing. But they have the richest natural resources. Seriously. This is not nice. This is absolutely not acceptable. So this guy wrote this letter to his missionaries, tried to make them to do stuff that will only benefit the Belgian. They should just make sure that whatsoever they are doing, they should make sure that it is for the benefit of Belgium. And when we talk about how these people came to Africa to steal away so many things, a lot of Pankola will be they never stole anything. And some Pankola get agitated or angry anytime they see an African person going overseas. Seriously, these Africans are actually going overseas to take those things that you took away from them. These people actually did a lot. Do you know what is it to earn 10 million? Seriously? When I saw this video, I was just so shocked. The first was, why is it that we, or I personally, I'm not aware of this? Is it the reason why the history has been wiped? So that our generations and generations yet unborn won't know, won't be aware? And you think that maybe hiding history will actually clean whatsoever that happened? Or trying to take away or wiping away history will actually hide or whatever happened? For so long will it continue to actually hide all of this? Look at the way they hear that our Yahweh was actually a black person. And now, so many things are coming up. So many is popping up. A lot of revolutions. This 2024, I used to tell my friends that, and I used to tell even my family here that this 2024 is the year of revelation. It's the year that the truth will be revealed, because it's just too much. There are so many things that was done. How could somebody go to, and claim what does not really belong? Do you know that they're still doing stuffs like this? They're still doing stuffs like this. I saw a video that I actually posted where somebody was talking about how to go back to Africa and recolonize them, since the African leaders don't know what they are doing. Like, seriously? Like, this is why they erased, history, so that we would not be aware in case they have a plan to do whatsoever they want to do again. Is it the reason why the history was erased? Is it the reason why they don't want us to know about history, so that we won't notice when something like this is about to happen again? So that we'll be so novice, like we'll think that everything is just rosy, like the King Leopold of the Belgian, on how he went over there and took away everything, claimed it to be his own, inherited it, until when he was, no more, he have to, oh my goodness, this is just too much. It is too much. Like, so these people have been doing so much right from like over 400 years ago. And when, black people want to like express themselves and how they felt, and how dare you call them bitter? How dare you call them aggressive and angry with all of this thing that they went through, their ancestors? Like, even the day this guy passed away, some grandfathers and great-grandfathers was born, and you know about this. And you think that it's justifiable. And somebody that I posted a video, I was reacting to the videos, she was talking about how black people are just doing so much, that a lot of people, Asian people all over the world, all enslaved. Was it to this extent? Was it to this extent? Was it to this extent? This is pure inhuman. Seriously. I can't even imagine those days. I can't imagine how these people felt. I can't imagine what they went through. I cannot even imagine it. If I can feel this way just because of what I read, what about our ancestors that witnessed it, that went through it, that passed through it? This is not funny. We need to know. We have the right to know what really happened to our ancestors. There is no point hiding all of this. I used to tell you guys that if they like, they should hide it inside the moon. A lot of people will have to dig it out. Enough of it. Our ancestors really went through a lot. Seriously, to be sincere, this is the first time I'm hearing about this King Leopold and the atrocities that he did. And this is the letter. This letter have been circulating all over social media. Imagine how they used, Christianity to steal so much from us. How they use Christianity. There was a video I staged where a pastor was like, if not for white people, that black people must have gone to hell, because we'll be very busy with voodoo and ending up in hell. Like, seriously. But you guys used Christianity to take away and make these people's life unbearable. So who is now the worst? Who is the worst person right now? Like, seriously. And now, anyways, love this. If you know about this King Leopold of a man, you could just, educate us more in the comment section. If you have any idea more of it about it later, you can also leave it in the comment section, because I am just open for education. Seriously, love this. Why not just leave me your own thoughts? Subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that. Please like this video to get a larger audience, so as people can get more educated. In case there are so many people out there who never thought about, who never, So please share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that. And I will see you lovelies when I upload the next. And if you have watched up to this extent, thank you so much for all the love and support. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. Do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes. So please share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.